Okay.
You're live.
I'm live, all right. Good evening. I want to welcome everybody to the October 13th Williamson County Commissioner meeting. The first item on our agenda is always the invocation and pledge, and this month it is given by District 8. The invocation to be given by Commissioner Barb Sturgeon, and the pledge to be given or led by Commissioner Drew Torres. Please rise.
Our Lord Jesus Christ, God the Father, and the Holy Spirit, we come before you with open hearts, humbly seeking your divine wisdom as we deliberate on the resolutions before this county commission. I surrender this meeting to you, for you to have your will. Fill us with discernment to choose paths that honor your truth and uplift our community. May our words and actions reflect the boundless love, compassion, and humility of our Lord Jesus Christ, as we strive to serve with grace and unity. Guide us, Lord, to be faithful stewards of your will. Amen.
Amen.
Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item on the agenda is roll call. If your tablets are working, can I unplug mine? Can I unplug it? All right. If you'll click your present button and record the roll, please, Mr. Whitby.
I have 22 present, two absent, Commissioner Clifford and Commissioner Mason absent.
And we heard from both of them, and I know Commissioner Clifford could use your thoughts and prayers. He has a broken collarbone this afternoon, so we'll be thinking of him. We also have approval of the minutes next. Packet should have been mailed out to each of you. I'll entertain a motion. Got a proper motion made by Commissioner Tunnicliffe and seconded by Commissioner Smith. Are there any questions or comments concerning the minutes from last month's meeting? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor of approving the minutes, signify by clicking your yes button once it pops up. There we go. Opposed, your no button. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
22 yes, 0 no.
And the minutes are approved. Next, we have citizen communications. We have one individual who has signed up. When I call your name, if you could tell us your name and the city in which you reside. And each speaker gets 3 minutes. And we will welcome to the podium now Miss Cindy Walton.
Hello, everybody. I'm Cindy Walton. I live in Thompson Station, and I'm here to address you guys about some of the issues I've been having with my property and our safety once the Bethesda Rec Center was started, essentially. We are having, I'm sorry, I don't usually public speak, but we are having a lot of safety issues with the traffic that this has imposed on myself, my uncle who's the neighboring property, and also the property next to him. There's a lot of traffic. A lot of people are speeding. I think I've addressed most of you guys about this before. I'm not getting a lot of feedback, so this is my next step, just to try to get something done about it. Our mailboxes are on the opposite side of the road. That is a USPS issue, apparently, and we can't get that rectified in order for us to be able to safely access our mail. I've contacted you guys, I've contacted Marsha Blackburn's office, I've contacted the USPS. Everybody acknowledges the issue, but nobody is willing or capable of solving that. However, I've learned that you guys are planning to widen that road out in front of my house. That's going to cause more issues for us. We have limited sight lines, we have 2 big hills and a curve. So I have to try to scurry across the road listening. And you don't always hear the cars coming, so you kind of have to run and hit the ditch next to the mailbox, and you're standing there with cars doing, sometimes it's the speed limit, 45, sometimes it's 55, sometimes it's more, and they do not move over. So I'm the one that checks the mail for myself, my mom, and my uncle because they're elderly. There's no way they can navigate that traffic. I can barely navigate that traffic. Something needs to be done for our safety. We're going to get injured, and the person who eventually hits one of us is going to have their lives changed, and it's not going to be for the better. So I'm just bringing this to your attention once again, because I know phase 2 is going to start soon, and that means more traffic for us, and we're going to have to try to navigate this somehow. And we don't have a solution. We've tried. We fought for a solution. We've pleaded for a solution. And I'm just here putting this in front of you now, hoping that somebody takes initiative and tries to solve what's been created for us out here. We've been here since 1986 in that location. Each year it gets a little worse because of the new developments and things like that. But if I'm trying to check that mail after work, there's no way. I mean, I am fighting for my life out there. So I'm just I'm imploring for some help from someone to try to help come up with a solution. Whether it's speed bumps, reducing the speed limit, enforcing the traffic safety out there more, because there is a lot of revving of the engines, a lot of speeding, and sometimes racing, especially at the end of the night when they're leaving that park. But my main
30 more
concern is when
seconds.
I'm sorry, my main concern is when I'm crossing after work to get my mail. I mean, that's the best time because you can't see at night. So thank you very much, you guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you. And that's the conclusion of our citizens' communications. Now moving on to communications and messages. There are 2 late filed resolutions in your packet. If there are no objections, then this evening we will hear Resolution 102524 and Resolution 102525. Any objections to hearing those? Seeing none, we'll hear those this evening. And now we have 2 proclamations, and I'll call on Mayor Rogers Anderson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Commissioners, if I could have the resolution for the breast cancer, if they will come up, please. As they're making their way up, as many of you know, this month is Cancer Awareness Month. Whereas the Franklin Cancer Walk for Breast Cancer reports that breast cancer is the number 2 cause of death for women. 1 in 3 women lose their battle with cancer. In the United States, every 2 minutes a woman is diagnosed with breast cancer. Whereas founded over 10 years ago by Marilyn and Samantha Shepard, the Franklin Cancer Walk is dedicated to helping women and their families. Whereas the Franklin Cancer Walk serves women undergoing cancer treatment at Vanderbilt Medical Center as well as participating hospitals throughout Middle Tennessee to enhance the quality of life for women and their families. Whereas Franklin's Cancer Walk also sponsors celebration in honor of determination and bravery to fight the battle against breast cancer. It is by my signature and the seal that we proclaim October as the Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Thank you, ladies. Mr. Chairman, again, we have a proclamation for the 21st District Recovery Court Day. Many of you know it under a previous name, but if I could have these folks to come up. And we have a special person here tonight. Many of you know Gail Moyer Harris, who was also a county commissioner. She's actually been about everything in Williamson County that you would ever think about being. And I applaud her and her husband, Judge Bell, for coming up. Judge has been retired for many years, but still very active in our community. Come on up, judges and people. And of course, we have Judge Tim Easter, who resides in our area. So let me read this. Whereas the 21st District Recovery Court serving Williamson County has diligently worked since its founding in 2002 to transform the lives of nonviolent offenders struggling with addiction through an intensive, court-supervised 2-year recovery program. And whereas the 21st District Recovery Court provides a non-adversarial therapeutic approach to address crimes and addiction, offering participants rigorous treatment, intensive monitoring, and essential life skills to foster successful, productive lives. And whereas the program has demonstrated remarkable success, graduating 376 participants since 2004, significantly reducing recidivism rates compared to the traditional court probation and parole programs, and restoring families and communities by creating safe and positive environments. Whereas the 21st District Recovery Court operates in a cost-effective manner, spending approximately $15,000 per participant annually compared to over $40,000 for the incarceration, saving taxpayers resources while relying primarily on grants, private donation, and modest participation fees without direct taxpayer funding. Whereas the 15th Annual Community Luncheon to be held on Monday, October the 20th at 11 a.m. at the Williamson County Enrichment Center serves as a vital platform to raise awareness and support for the Recovery Court's mission. Whereas the 21st District Recovery Court's efforts align with the Williamson County to commit to fostering a safer, healthier, and a more resilient community by reducing drug and alcohol-related crimes and supporting the rehabilitation of our own citizens. It's therefore that I proclaim October the 20th as 21st District Recovery Court Day, and I've signed it, and we have the seal on it. Who wants to speak, Connie or Gail?
Thank you, Roger. It is,
Here's the mic.
oh, I guess I have to do that, right? Okay. Everyone knows I'm not the best public speaker, but I am passionate about what we do and the program that we serve, and so many of you are supporters of that. And I have my great staff here and board members, and we do everything we can to restore families and to make our community safer. And I'm very proud to know that you all acknowledge that and understand what we do and support us. And any of you that can come to our lunch, please do so. Thank you so much.
Mr. Chairman, if I could, before you all give a round of applause, we don't get an opportunity from time to time to put Gail on the spot and to call upon her to talk about her wisdom, if we could, for this, not only this effort, but what all she's offered to this county. Gail?
Please do.
Good job.
I really can't talk very much. This is, y'all have business to do. I could talk all night, given the opportunity. I was privileged when Judge Easter and my husband, Judge Harris, when they were on the bench as circuit court judges, saw the need to do something with the same people that kept coming back with criminal charges, but they were all caused by addiction. And after years of looking at that, they decided to start this unbelievable program called Drug Court at the time. It was not a very popular thing. I don't think our county was quite ready for it, but there was the need, and these two judges stepped forward, helped raise the money. Connie was part of that initial effort, And we are proud today of the work that's been done by so many of our staff, our board members, our judiciary, and you county commissioners. So thank you for all that you've done, and it's our privilege to serve this community.
Thank you all. Where are we at now? Reports. Rogers, if you want to stay up, our next item on the agenda is reports of county offices. Mayor Rogers Anderson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First of all, let me call Phoebe up and we'll give a snapshot. We have 3 different individuals and firms that are coming up under my report. Phoebe will introduce the Marriott people, and then we'll have a slide presentation also. Phoebe?
Thank you, Mayor Anderson, and good evening. The first thing I'd like to report this evening is our collections, our August collections for privilege tax. For the month of August, we received a little over $1,264,000. This is an increase over last month of approximately $245,000. July was just slightly over $1 million, so we have had a good month in August for privilege tax and education impact fee. Our education impact fee also saw an increase of approximately $214,000 for a total of $1,928,000 for the month of August. In your packet, you will find a list of projects. If you're looking in the short pages, it should be approximately about number 6. This is a listing of projects along with their corresponding intent to fund resolutions. And this is provide those numbers with you to provide you a breakdown for the 2 bond resolutions that will be coming before you for a vote this evening. Resolution number 102514 and 102515. Those will outline kind of what we have already approved and what this body has approved for intent to fund for both county government projects as well as for school projects. So this evening we are just going to, this is for a resolution for a not to exceed. Obviously I cannot give you an exact number because we haven't gone to market yet. We are projecting to go to market approximately at the end of this month, 1st of November. Of course, that is depending on the vote this evening. On Friday, I sent to you a slide. I think there was approximately 6 slides I sent to you for additional information on our conference center. At this time, I would like to call both Michael Sanders and Dan Harrigan to allow them a few minutes to kind of elaborate on that. This evening, you will see the addendum again. This is the addendum to extend the operating agreement. This will be before you this evening. If you have any questions, please feel free to answer them, or I will come back up and do my best to answer any questions you have on this information or any of the previous information I provided. Let's see if we can get this going.
Phoebe,
Yes.
it's preloaded, they're switching it back there.
Okay, because he said I needed to plug this in.
Oh.
Do I still need to plug this in?
Then I'll take a look.
Okay. There it goes. All right, and clicker is somewhere. Oh, there it is. All right. This is on.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. My name is Michael Sanders. I'm with Chartwell Hospitality, and this is Dan Harrington, also with Chartwell Hospitality. Excuse me, I'm breaking the fob. So after the last meeting last month to table the vote for the extension on the management agreement for the convention center, It was decided to put together a brief presentation, and I will make it brief, on the complexity of the convention center and the hotel inner workings. First, I'd like to recap that the conference center has been a profitable venture that started over 26 years ago. And in the 26 full years, full fiscal years, the conference center has grossed a profit of netted a profit of $4.8 million. And that's the county center's portion, does not include the city's equal portion. The last 4 years, the conference center has averaged $373,000 profit per year for the county. And I used the 4-year because of coming out of COVID, obviously we had a dip. And then the tax contribution that has been generated in 2024 was $1.24 million for the county. As you know, we are here trying to secure an extension on the management agreement for two main reasons. One is securing financing for the hotel, and secondary is we are currently booking beyond the current management agreement termination date, which is in October of 2027. We currently have $877,000 in function revenue on the books for the conference center, and those are being booked in the entity name of the hotel, putting all the risk on the hotel in the event that the conference center was not there to deliver on those services. This is a layout, and I took this off of a blueprint. It was the best way I could show the image of the conference center and the hotel. When this was built originally, it was built like a typical standalone hotel that has one of everything, if you will. And the value of that and what has made this conference center profitable is the fact that we do share the facilities. And you'll see it on the next slide. In this case, the kitchen, which in this diagram is shown on the hotel side. The hotel side is in red. The blue side is the conference center. You can see the laundries in the conference center. If I go to the next slide, the efficiencies, and I won't read through all of these, but the efficiencies that affords the operation is not having to have two of everything. You have one staff that operates both facilities. You have one food and beverage inventory that operates both facilities. And you have one utility, one mechanical infrastructure that operates both. And it goes on and on. But that's the value of how this was established. Whereas in many cases, public-private partnerships on convention centers are not successful because they're a separate entity altogether that duplicates efforts. And then the final slide presentation. Chartwell Hospitality is Franklin-based.
I think almost everybody.
I'm sorry?
We had a malfunction, technical malfunction. Please proceed.
Chartwell Hospitality is Franklin-based. We have 7 hotels in Williamson County. I highlighted the tax revenue that supports the 1.2 that I mentioned earlier, but of our 7 hotels, we've produced over $4 million in tax revenue for the county. So we are very proud to be in Williamson County. And that concludes the presentation, and if there are any questions.
Any questions or comments? Looks like I have one from Commissioner Lawrence.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening, Michael. I think it's unfortunate that you come here on a night when you just handed us the latest report from the conference center, which shows apparently we had a loss of $250,000 in 1 month. Can you explain that?
Absolutely. And first, it's not uncommon to have months where there are losses, especially in the summer months. But we just completed a renovation of the convention center side in August. It was closed the entire month of August so that it could be renovated. And on the hotel side, we were about to invest a large sum there as well to finish out the entire project. So by end of Q1, the hotel and conference center will be fully renovated.
And the renovation was to the tune of roughly $2.8 million that was put into the conference center alone. And we're putting separately another $6.5 million into the hotel, which will start at the end of this month and be completed hopefully sometime in early May.
Okay. So you guys put the money, you invested that into the conference center even though we technically own it?
No, that was, most of the money in the conference center was federal grant money.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right, so Michael, the last time you were here, the tone of your message seemed to be that you were, Chartwell had not done as well as you had hoped on the Marriott, and that you needed this contract extension. It was almost like, we need this to stay in business. But I followed what you said when you went to the Franklin Boma, and it wasn't quite as dire. I mean, it was more like, we just need this money, we just need this contract in place to be able to get a loan extension, either a loan extension or maybe a lower interest rate on the loan you already have. Could you elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, I can comment on that. We typically, for properties like this, we usually get a 5 or 7 year loan. And it's just the term is up on it. And the lenders that are looking at refinancing, the property is doing well. There's no risk in the property, but the only inherent risk is that has surfaced as we go out to find a replacement loan is that you have a management agreement that matures in 2 years. What happens if they decide not to extend it? Because some of the business for the hotel it's correlated, related to the conference center business. And so there's a hesitancy in lenders for the mere fact that you've got 2 years left, and there's a risk that if someone decides not to extend it, what happens? Which is a viable question from any lender.
Okay. All right, thank you.
But in terms of the hotel, it's performing very well. There's no concerns with regard to the performance of the hotel.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Williams.
Good seeing you all again. Following up from the discussion in Property Committee, I think what I'd heard there in the Property Committee was your typical financing terms were 3 to 5 year financing terms. Mm-hmm. We currently have 2 years left on the current agreement. The original ask, I think, was for an extension. What we basically asked was for y'all to go have a conversation with the financing agents about a 5-year extension, because that would de facto leave 7 years left. It should suffice your typical financing cycle. What was the result of those conversations?
It was pushed back because we're effectively be in the same spot that we're in right now in 5 years with only 2 years left. So we'll have the same issue at the maturity of this loan as we do now. So consequently, we would like to, right now we're looking for a 10-year extension with the 2 additional years left, which is 12. The most we can reduce that to is now 10.
So if you were taking just to make sure I understand correctly, because I'm having a hard time understanding that. If you're taking a loan out, whether it be 3 years or 5 years, mm-hmm. but we offer a 5-year extension in addition to the 2, so there's a 7 years of effective agreement, right? That should suffice the financial cycle of whatever loan that you take.
We'll be confronting the same issue, in 5 years from now, that there would only be 2 years left when we're refinancing it at the end of this loan term.
But we'll deal with that in 5 years, right? We're talking about a current financial need right now, right? And it should suffice that. So
but we're getting pushback. The lenders want to see at least 10 years.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Commissioner Sturgeon.
Thank you. In the Property Committee, we also asked if the contract had an out clause where we can get out of it, and I think Sarah said she'd look into it. Do we know? Is there any, if in 3 years everything changes, can we get out of the contract?
Yes, actually, the sale agreement or the out clause is in the original agreement between us and Franklin. It was in the original contract, and we have to give 120-day notice. And at that point, we give 120-day notice. first right of refusal is the city, and if they do not choose to proceed with that, then we would go out, obviously, and bid and look for a new buyer. This agreement,
You're talking about the contract that has us owning it.
correct.
I'm talking about our contract with the management group.
Right, so that would also just go with the buyers. So if we did sell, it would go, the rights for this agreement would go along with that.
So we have to sell it if we don't like the management. We can't keep the place
Right,
and get a new manager for 12 years.
that is correct. With this agreement, we have it is an operating agreement.
Thank you.
Commissioner Sanford.
Couple quick questions for them. What is Chartwell's annual revenue, roughly?
I don't have that offhand, but it's one of the larger hotel operators in Nashville, if not the largest independent hotel operator.
Couple hundred million, probably?
I don't want to throw out a number I don't know.
Okay, Google says it's around 177 million. It also says Chartwell has a history of acquiring 1.7 billion in hotels. Is that accurate?
We have roughly 23 hotels that we own and operate.
If you can come to the
not
microphone
just
so
in
that
Tennessee.
everybody can hear you speaking in the microphone.
Not just in Tennessee, we have hotels throughout the country.
Okay, and we lost money this month. What did y'all make? What did y'all lose? What did you make?
Michael, do you know what, in the month of August?
Sure.
Well, the reason for losing money in the month of August was simply because we shut down because of the renovation.
That's not what I asked. How much? We lost 131,000. I would assume the city of Franklin lost 131,000 if it's equal. I haven't seen the contract. So what did y'all lose or make that month?
I don't know the exact number, but it was not a good month because we rely on the conference.
Did you
center.
make money?
No. Not after debt service, no.
After debt service, but it was profitable if it was cash on cash, right?
Probably.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? I see none. Thank you, gentlemen.
Okay, great, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I have Maureen Thornton coming up from the CVB to report on some excellent news.
Yeah. I think we all have some goodie bags on our desks.
You do have some goodie bags. Hi, everyone. I'm Maureen Thornton. Just as a reminder, visit Franklin, the Williamson County Convention and Visitors Bureau, tourism on behalf of the county. Your bags say Franklin, but if you look inside, you'll see some new collateral that we've been using that is part of the work that we've been doing over the last several years to make it much more clearly obvious that our work is on behalf of the entire county. So if you do get a chance to peruse your bags, you'll see we've added stickers and postcards, and I think you've previously seen the rack cards that are distinct to all of the communities in Williamson County. Our warm and fuzzy tagline, thanks to all of you who participated in the branding, is really about the idea that we are 8 unique communities, but together we're one powerful community. So we still lead with Franklin as the county seat, but make no mistake, our work is on behalf of the entire county. So I wanted to first thank you all for your support, your engagement. So many of you have been involved in everything from our brand work, our day-to-day, the questions, the engagement that we get, and it helps us do good work on behalf of the community. And it really is a privilege for us to do that. It's a fun job to have, promoting tourism, welcoming people, but it's even more fun to do it in a place as special as the one we get to share. So we as a team appreciate working alongside all of you as our elected leaders and other community leaders to do the work that we do. And what I'm really here tonight to talk about is one of our absolute favorite things, which is the positive economic impact of tourism. So we just recently in September got our 2024 calendar year information, which I know is totally crazy that it's so far delayed, but it was good news for us in 2024. Our total spending by visitors in Williamson County was up about 3%, so over $1.3 billion was spent by visitors directly in Williamson County throughout the calendar year of 2024. And to give that just some day-to-day context, that's actually more than $3.7 million every single day that's spent by visitors in our communities, in our small businesses, generating the tax revenue. And for those inclined for math and interested in what does that mean for our residents, there's two numbers I want to leave you with there. One is the $3.7 million a day in visitor spending generated more than $153,000 a day in local tax collections. That's not the state's portion, that's the local collections across our cities and our county, which then equals a $1,631 per household saved amount for every household in Williamson County. So it is money that is spent that helps our businesses thrive, that saves our residents money, that allows us an opportunity to welcome people to experience the beautiful things that we have to offer. And then I also want to give a little bit of a shameless plug for our team. I mentioned we're enthusiastic, and it's a privilege for us to do this work with you and on behalf of the county. And I'm actually holding a small piece of, not really hardware, I guess, glassware. We were recently recognized by the Tennessee Hospitality and Tourism Association as the large DMO of the year for the state of Tennessee. So we hope that you all feel proud of the work that we do on behalf of you and our entire community. So we share this with you and thank you all for your support, especially three of you sitting in the room, Jennifer Mason, who's not here tonight, Sean Aiello and Steve Smith, who have been members of our board, but really all of you. We appreciate your partnership, your collaboration, and your support. And in your bag, in addition to those really fun, warm and fuzzy things, is a little bit more information. Our county economic impact snapshot report, which comes from the state of Tennessee. They produce that with the state revenue department, so that comes from them to us. We've talked about the methodology in the past. If anyone wants to talk about that again, I am always available for that, or really any topic related to tourism that you all want to talk about. So thank you again for your support, and if you ever want to talk to us about anything, please know we're always here and really interested to do that.
Mr. Chairman, finally, on Friday morning, I got a phone call about an explosion over in the Humphreys County and Hickman County from Todd Horton. And so I thought it would be appropriate for Connor to come up tonight and kind of tell you our engagement and what we're doing to help out our neighbor next door. As sad as all of that is and the loss of lives, there were several people that stepped up, and you should feel honored that our public safety side stepped in and took on a role that's really making a difference over in the community. Connor?
Thank you, sir. So Connor Scott, Public Safety Director for the county. Really, thanks to Mayor Anderson's leadership and the support of this body over the years and us being able to do things like take advantage of grant opportunities, we have been able to train our personnel to an incredibly high standard and do strategic investments in equipment that set us up for success here in Williamson County, of course, but we also have focused on the deployable side of things. And we like to have the ability to sort of do a road show, if you will. So if we're working out of our building or supporting the county fair or Renfest or other events across the county or some emergency that happens, we have the ability to stand up our operations literally anywhere. And that includes continuity of government, so the functions of this body and also all of the critical functions that happen to keep the county going in this building. We work on ways to make sure that those functions can happen at any time, anywhere. And so the great thing about that is when our neighbors have a challenge, like Hickman County and Humphreys County are going through right now, we have the ability to support them in a way that others don't. So since Friday, we've had 10 of our personnel, 11 including myself, out at the site. We also have deployed our mobile command trailer, which you may have seen at the county fair. It's our new asset. They're using that as their command post for law enforcement operations and also for the ATF, who of course is heavily involved. We also have mobilized our radio communications trailer. So if we lose a radio tower here in the county, whether it's a tornado that takes it out or some other sort of event, We have a deployable trailer where we can reestablish radio communications with the mobile tower, but we can also deploy that elsewhere so that the spot where the AES facility is located is a really poor cell phone and radio reception area. So we've been able to stand up radio communications there and interface with the ATF. So it's not just the local resources. The ATF is plugged into our tower and is using that for their radio communications as well. We also have 2 of our ATVs that are out there. You may have seen the complex is incredibly large. It's over 1,300 acres. And there are several areas that are impacted and then several areas that are being used for different functions. Of course, there's the area that the majority of the investigation and the work is going on at the moment, but there's also different areas where media is set up, where family assistance is set up, and other facilities pertaining to the investigation and the overall support. But our personnel have done everything from assisting with the planning, the logistics functions, being involved in strategic conversations all the way down to signing people in for check-in at the front gate. So really anything that's needed. The sheriff's office also heavily involved. I believe the helicopter may be going tomorrow to do some aerial reconnaissance. And of course, Sheriff Hughes has offered any and all support that they need from his team. But it's been a great effort and a great opportunity for us to help out our neighbors when they are in need, knowing that someday, hopefully not, but they may have to come support us as well. So thank you again for your support and everything that you've done over the years to set our agency up for success, and for Mayor Anderson for green-lighting all of this so that we could go and help our neighbors. And of course, our thoughts and prayers, our hearts are with the AES organization and with that community, which has been just completely devastated.
Thank you for what you're doing. Any questions or comments? Commissioner Sturgeon.
Yeah, thanks for filling us in. Can you tell us more details on what caused the explosion and how many people and who's passed away?
Sure. So the facility itself, it's a large complex with multiple buildings, and the building in question is one where explosives are manufactured and processed, and that building has been completely leveled. So there is an ongoing investigation into what exactly the cause was. They may not know that for... I'm sorry?
I thought it was a utility plant.
No, this is a manufacturer of explosives that some of their biggest contracts are with the U.S. military. So it'll be months, and they may never have a true cause of exactly what happened. Just the damage is just incredibly extensive. And I'm sorry, the second part of your question?
I mean, how many people passed away?
Oh, so at this point, they've confirmed 16 fatalities. They were afraid they were up to 18, but they were able to find there were 2 people who they thought were in the building at the time, but were not. So they unfortunately have confirmed 16 people were killed.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments for Connor? I see none. Thank you again for what you're doing. Okay, moving on. And Ms. Riley, were you finished with? Okay, so I'll go on now to Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Jason Golden.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Commissioners. We are 1 quarter into our school year. We don't have anything on your agenda officially from Williamson County Schools. Ms. Riley mentioned to you a couple of items related to bonds for some of the funding you approved for capital projects at the end of the fiscal year. Certainly open any questions that you may have as you work this evening.
Any questions or comments for Superintendent Golden? I see none.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Moving on, we have a hospital report from CEO Phil Mazuka and COO Terry Fowler. CFO?
Well, I won't be as brief as Jason was, but thank you, Mr. Chair and Commissioners, for having us today. I'll start off with some general updates. You've heard that October is National Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so we're actively educating the community about the services and care we offer by the way of the Williamson Health Turner to God Breast Health Center. Additionally, we recently launched our very own podcast titled Health Talks from the Inside Out. And the goal is to bring healthcare insights directly from within the organization to our community as our expert providers share their philosophies of care, the services we offer, and practical tips for healthier lives. We launched 6 episodes ranging from orthopedic care to nutrition to sleep conditions. We'll be sharing 2 new episodes each month, and you can find us on popular podcast platforms, including Spotify and Apple. And I never thought I'd be talking about Spotify. The Williamson Health Foundation has recently launched a series of health panels for community members. The Women's Series has been so successful, we're hosting the first Men's Health Panel on November 11th from 5:30 to 7:30 at the Haven Barbershop in West Haven. 2 of our physicians, 1 primary care and 1 orthopedist, will be there to discuss issues important to men's health. Tickets are required for the event. Space is limited. Anyone interested can sign up through our link on our website. We talked about recruiting physicians to this community and the need that we have out there. Well, we had a few recent additions to the Bone and Joint Institute of Tennessee and to Williamson Health Medical Group. First, Dr. Heather Rowe recently joined the Williamson Health Medical Group and opened a primary care office in Cool Springs. In addition, Dr. Keith Granger, an interventional physiatrist, and Dr. Sarab Mehta, a hand and upper extremity orthopedic surgeon, recently joined the Bone and Joint, and they'll be primarily based in the Franklin office. Lastly, I really wanted to update you on our comprehensive strategic planning process. As you know, the Williamson Health Board of Trustees continue to be engaged in a deliberate, measured, and lengthy process to explore all potential pathways to securing our best possible future for our patients, our community, our employees, and our medical staff. While avenues for remaining independent are currently being explored, as we previously talked about, one of the other pathways being explored includes a potential change in ownership. To that end, a request for proposal has now been made available to vetted and qualified interested organizations from around the country. The process is being managed by Kaufman Hall, and we expect the first round of responses before the end of the year. As such, we likely won't have another update until sometime in 2026. On a related note, we are aware of an online and phone survey about our strategic planning process being circulated to local residents. This survey is not from Williamson Health and actually runs contrary to our RFP stipulations. Any attempts to unduly influence the process will be considered during our evaluation process. All interested parties responding to our RFP have agreed that all communications regarding our strategic planning process are to be had only with our Kaufman Hall representatives. This means that interested organizations communicating with county commissioners, other elected officials, media, community members, Williamson Health employees and medical staff, and anyone other than Kaufman Hall representatives are outside the agreed-upon boundaries. If you are approached about our strategic planning process, we kindly ask that you remind the pursuer of this important contractual procedure. The board takes very seriously this process and is conducting it with the utmost professionalism and structure. To that end, we greatly appreciate your help and support throughout this important process. As a reminder, the RFP is merely one potential pathway being explored. Avenues to remain independent are also being pursued with equal vigor. Now, before I finish my statement, I do want to recognize that our Mayor Anderson received in September the award for Trustee of the Year from the Tennessee Hospital Association for his 30 years of service to healthcare within this community. So really proud that the mayor received the state award. We had a nice ceremony at the THA, and so I just wanted to report that out to the commission. In closing, it's business as usual at Williamson Health. Our talented and hardworking men and women continue our daily pursuit of providing high quality and compassionate care to the community we so proudly serve. With that, I'll turn it over to Terry for an update on the August financials.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Here are our financial results for August. EBITDA was favorable to budget by 8%, or a little over $198,000, and favorable year-to-date by $524,000, or 13%. Net income for August was favorable to budget by 122%, or a little over $114,000, and favorable year-to-date by a little over $421,000, or 77%. August volumes were lower compared to budget and prior year, with the exception of physician office visits GI procedures, and cath lab cases, which were up compared to budget. Deliveries were also up 11% versus budget and up 22% versus prior year. And NICU admits were up 48% to budget and up 7% versus prior year. EBITDA margin percent was 8.3% for August, and it's 8.1% year-to-date. Operating cash increased $5.7 million, mainly due to the receipt of fiscal year 25 HIP funds, which were booked in June, but the cash was received in August. There is no impact on the August financial statement for those funds. Days on cash on hand for all sources increased 113 days, or up 6 days, also mainly due to the receipt of the FY25 HIP funds. Debt coverage was 2.8, similar to prior month of 2.52, and this concludes my report. Thank you.
Got a question or comment from Commissioner Lawrence?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Phil, I guess this question is for you. In talking about the RFP process, could you clarify, are we sending the RFP out only to entities that we want to receive an RFP response from, or are we allowing any qualified organization, maybe nationwide, that wants to bid on the RFP to send in a request for
Yeah,
to respond?
I'll say any qualified and vetted organization will be able to receive an RFP.
Okay, so they don't necessarily have to hear from us. They could contact the hospital or the organization that's
correct.
managing this. Okay, all right. That's my question. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions or comments for either Mr. Mazuka or Mr. Fowler? I see none.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you both, gentlemen. That, and then the chair recognizes Commissioner Paul Webb.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The steering committee met tonight because at our last meeting, we were unsure of who would be elected chair of this body, and so we appointed Commissioner Beathard to the tax study committee. But our bylaws, our rules say that that is not something that can be done. And so we met tonight, and the committee looked at the options on the spreadsheet that we saw earlier this year in August before our recommendations. And tonight, the recommendation from the steering committee is to remove Chair Beathard, per our rules, from the tax study committee and replace him, subject to this body's approval, with Commissioner Drew Torres. And by the way, Commissioner Torres is aware of that, and he says that he accepts that if we vote to put him on the tax study committee.
So do I hear a motion in that, Mr. Webb?
That'd be a motion, Commissioner
Okay.
Chair, to put Drew Torres on there.
Have a second, I believe, from Commissioner Lawrence. Oh, sorry, Commissioner Sanford. Any questions or comments on that change? I guess we'll do this with a voice vote. We'll do this with a voice vote. Seeing no questions or comments, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor of making that change to the tax committee, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, say no. Passes unanimously. Which brings us to elections and appointments. Under County Commission, we have a 3-year term expiring 10 of 28 for the Education Impact Fee Task Force. Terms expiring are Judy Herbert, Jennifer Mason, Steve Smith, Paul Webb, and Matt Williams. Nominations are Chaz Morton, Guy Carden, Betsy Hester, Paul Webb, and Tom Tunnicliffe. I have a motion from Commissioner Greg Sanford and seconded by Commissioner Ricky Jones. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor of those nominations, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Commissioner Williams? Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
22 yes, 0 no.
Motion passes. Next item on our agenda is the consent agenda. I'll entertain a motion. I have a proper motion made by Commissioner Tunnicliffe, seconded by Commissioner Torres. Any questions or comments on the consent agenda? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor of accepting the consent agenda, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Commissioner Williams? Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
22 yes, 0 no.
Consent agenda is passed. Next, we have unfinished business. Former Resolution 92537, now Resolution 1025-1. Resolution authorizing the Williamson County Mayor to approve an addendum to extend the Conference Center operating agreement with Carruthers Hotel Partners, LLC, for the continued operation of the Conference Center at Cool Springs. Proper motion made by Commissioner Steve Smith, seconded by Commissioner Tom Tunnicliffe. The Property Committee was 1 in favor, 4 against. Budget Committee was 5 in favor, 0 against. Commission action taken at last month's meeting was to defer to this month. Questions or comments? No, I'm sorry, the explanation for this, I don't have budget on
The
here.
new budget committee.
Oh, and then Budget Committee that met this month was 4 in favor, 0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
I think everybody was here 10 minutes ago, saw the presentation, so I think everybody understands what's before us as far as extending the operating agreement on this.
Commissioner Williams.
Like I said, I think my only concern is the length of the agreement with 2 years remaining and then doing a 10-year. But per what was discussed and confirmed with us, it seems like 10 years would be, 10 effective years would be acceptable. So I'm going to offer an amendment that in paragraph 1 on addendum 2, like paragraph number 1, it's the third from the bottom, that the date be amended from October 14th of 2037 to October 14th of 2035.
I have a proper motion. Do I hear a second? Seconded by Commissioner Tunnicliffe. So we have a proper motion and a second to amend the date to, one more time, Commissioner Williams?
It's currently in paragraph number 1, third paragraph from the bottom. Just the end date of the extension currently is October 14th of 2037, and amending that to October 14th of 2035.
Why am I not seeing that on my copy?
It's on addendum.
Oh, it's on the addendum.
It's on
I'm sorry.
addendum 2.
On the addendum. Proper motion and a second. Any questions or comments on the motion and the second? Commissioner Mary Smith on the amendment?
No, I'll wait until the,
Okay. Commissioner Sanford on the amendment?
I'll pass, I'll wait.
Moving on to, and they removed it. So any questions or comments on the amendment? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, it's being loaded. We'll give it a moment. Now it's loaded. If you're in favor of the amendment, signify by,
I don't think she's got the.
is this the original or the amendment?
is not the.
please.
Say-
Voice vote on the amendment, please.
She's asking you to voice.
Oh,
vote for
okay.
the amendment.
We've been requested to voice vote.
So you'll need to erase the vote.
Yeah, they need to clear those off there. I think they got it. But they do not have the amendment, so I can roll call or voice, whatever.
We'll do a voice vote first, and then if it's close, we'll do a roll call. Okay, if you're in favor of the amendment, signify by saying aye. Aye. If you're opposed, nay. Nay. You might have to do a roll call.
All right. Commissioner Aiello? I'm sorry, was that nay? Aye, okay, sorry, good to hear.
I should have said aye and no, so we'll change it to aye and no.
Aye and no, okay, okay.
For Mr. Whitby.
Commissioner Beathard?
Aye.
Commissioner Carden? Commissioner Guffey? Commissioner Hayes? Commissioner Herbert? Commissioner Hester? Commissioner Jones? Commissioner Lawrence? Commissioner Mason? Oh, sorry, she's not here. Commissioner Morton? Commissioner O'Neill? Commissioner Petty? Commissioner Richards? Commissioner Sanford? Commissioner Smith? Commissioner, oh, sorry, Mary Smith. Commissioner Steve Smith?
Aye.
Commissioner Stressler? Commissioner Sturgeon? Commissioner Torres?
No.
Commissioner Tunnicliffe?
Aye.
Commissioner Webb?
Yes. Yes.
Gotcha. Commissioner Williams?
Aye.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have 14 yes, 8 no.
The amendment passes. Moving on to the resolution as amended. Questions or comments? We'll try to take them in the order they were before. Looks like they're popping up in that order, so that makes it easy for me and Diane. Commissioner Mary Smith.
Yeah, and I apologize. I probably should have asked this question, the Chartwell operators. How many local governments do you all partner with on conference centers or hotels in your current portfolio?
But this is the only one.
Okay. That's really my point. I think, for me, I think it's a bigger picture of, is this really the role of local government to be in a private industry? So while I do want you all to succeed, because it does do well for our community and it's a great conference center, and I think it's a great addition to our community, I just don't feel it's the role of government to be in this particular private industry. So that's why I was a no vote. Thank you.
Commissioner Sanford.
I guess to the fellow commissioners, I have a hard time with this one. It baffles me. It's mind-boggling to me why we're extending a contract 10 years for a company that is making almost $200 million a year, that owns and has accrued over $1.7 billion in assets.
I don't know where you're getting the figure for 200
But with Google,
million.
how much y'all make a year?
I don't have that number, but it's not 200 million.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, it's kind of funny that you don't know the number, right? So, we got a new mayor coming on this year. No, next year, excuse me. Got a lot of new commissioners going to be up here coming on. And it's mind-boggling why we're even entertaining doing this 2 years early. We have, in my opinion, we have no business even in this situation. It's made roughly, said 4.8 million over 26 years. It's 184,000 rough math a year. I think if we sold that, we'd get that money back and then some. This is just, it's ludicrous why we're even having this conversation. They're a big boy company. Put your big boy pants on and go figure it out. It's not our role as a government to supplement you guys, in my opinion, right? Figure it out, and my vote's going to be no.
Commissioner Richards.
I've got a comment. I'll be voting no on this, but I think most of the commissioners got the email exchange that I had with our attorney, Mr. Mosley. In that email, Mr. Mosley stated that the Marriott Convention Center is a capital improvement property because, quote, it was integral to the construction of the hotel and conference center. That justification for why the county supposedly doesn't have to bid this out. So let me get this straight. Because the hotel and convention center were built 30 years ago, we're now calling a management services contract a capital improvement property. That's a creative interpretation, to say the least. By that logic, mowing the lawn must be a capital investment, and changing a light bulb probably qualifies as a facilities upgrade. The law is clear. Capital improvement projects are about land, buildings, and tangible assets, things you build or acquire, not people you hire to run what already exists. Are we really expected to believe that a management contract is a capital improvement property that takes some impressive word gymnastics? Let's also remember that this is being brought to us 2 years early, long before the current contract even expires. There's no legal deadline, no financial necessity, and certainly no rush other than to get it approved before the questions are fully answered. Is the goal here really to modernize our understanding of capital improvement property, or just to find a clever way around competitive bidding and get this approved early? This might make life easier for the hotel operator, but it's a disservice to the taxpayers who expect transparency, accountability, and fiscal responsibility from their government. Every one of us is up here is elected to serve the taxpayer, not to shield vendors from competition. And I think we can all agree that after nearly 30 years under the same contract, the taxpayer would no doubt benefit if this were bid out again. They deserve to know that they're getting the best deal possible, not the most convenient one for the people already at the table. Thank you.
Commissioner Lawrence.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is not the first time this issue has been brought up before this body. In fact, I don't remember the year. Some of you may have better memory than I do, but we did a pretty deep dive into the financials of this arrangement and as to whether we could sell it or get out of our portion of it. I agree with some of my fellow commissioners. Whether we should be in this or not as a function of government is fundamentally a question I would answer no to. But the fact is, we are in this business because it's a arrangement that we've inherited. And the question came up, okay, well, if we want to get out of this, how do we do it? And as you get into the details of that, this arrangement is kind of like being a minority owner in an LLC. If you understand what that in the business world means, it means you don't have a lot of control over the destiny of the operation. For one thing, we've got a joint partner, which is the city of Franklin. Franklin's already voted on this. They voted last month. Did they vote to extend it to 2037? Okay,
yes.
So they've already voted to extend it to 2037. We approached them about buying our portion of it out several years ago. They were not interested. Putting a value on that, we actually engaged an appraiser. Putting a value on what our portion would be worth is very difficult. As Michael showed on that slide earlier, the way the hotel is laid out, it's a joint operation. You can't really just sell the conference center because you don't have a kitchen. You don't have any way of serving the guest without the other partner. So it is a arrangement that I think we need to continue to have discussions about. The obvious buyer from our standpoint would be the city of Franklin to buy us out, or perhaps the hotel at some point would want to buy the whole thing, but from both us and the city of Franklin. That could be an option as well. I don't think voting for this tonight precludes us from having those discussions, and that might be something we want to do moving forward. But the situation is just to say, well, we don't know that we want to be in this arrangement. We want to get out of this arrangement. It's not as simple as you might think to get out of it. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Williams.
I think Commissioner Lawrence did a good job kind of redirecting the tone a little bit. I'll do a little bit more, kind of express the same sentiments from Property Committee. I'm actually very appreciative of the private partner relationship we have over there. The conference center is profitable, has been profitable for a long time. We've displayed the numbers. Want to be good partners in here. I think philosophically, my concern has always been sometimes the length of terms that we do contracts and agreements with, right? And the dynamics in our community are changing so rapidly that we need more intervals and opportunities to reevaluate certain decisions than what we maybe have philosophically, historically done in the past. And so that's the thing that gives me pause, is just with 2 years remaining, having to do a 10-year extension was the original ask. I want to shorten that down so we have another reevaluation. But that does not, would we decide to do the conference center in today's environment? Probably not, right? But it is one. I think Commissioner Lawrence laid out the facts. It's kind of a murky situation. It's not as easy as just getting out of it. So with that as a backstop, and if we do want to pursue looking at that's fine. But in the meantime, I just want to reiterate, I do appreciate the partnership with you guys. It has been profitable, and I'll be voting in support to do this. It's just, in future iterations of this, don't be surprised that if we ask for a shorter extension period so that we can just reevaluate at a quicker interval.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Understood.
Commissioner Steve Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate the comments by Commissioner Lawrence and Commissioner Williams. 30 years ago, before there was much of anything in Cool Springs, this was seen to be an incredible public-private partnership to drive economic development. And the various partners running the operation over the years have been great corporate partners and very supportive. They've allowed us to generate some of the numbers that Maureen talked about. in terms of tourism. It's been very beneficial over the years. As Commissioner Williams said, would we do it today? Would we have to do it today? Maybe not. But the way it was done was very thoughtful. It was between the city and the county. It was done in the most efficient way possible. And I will be supporting it as amended now. But it has, over the years, certainly been very beneficial. And Chartwell, as they mentioned, having so many properties in the county, they've been a great corporate partner as well. Thank you.
Commissioner Hayes.
Hi there. I want to agree with several points that commissioners have made about, I was in corporate America for a long time. I'm a county commissioner because I represent my constituents who are taxpayers. And honestly, no offense, but my concern is my taxpayers, not your loan terms, not what's best for you guys. I'm looking at what's best for our county as a whole, as well as my district. I just don't see why this is on fire. We have 2 years. When we voted it down in committee, we had 2 years and 2 months. I do not understand. If there's anything COVID taught us, the world changes and can change very rapidly. So why would we agree to a 10-year or an 8-year, whatever term it is, 2 years in advance? Absolutely makes zero sense. And I've talked to 2 CEO friends just in passing, and they were like, "Are you crazy?" So again, I just don't understand what's on fire for us. I don't see anything on fire. I'm disappointed that the city of Franklin didn't feel the need to be more critical in their thinking, and they went ahead and voted it in. That's rather sad. But I would like to see more favorable terms, because as we know, things change, and terms, we should have agreeable terms, like Commissioner Sturgeon says. If we want to exit this contract and sell, it needs to be beneficial to our taxpayers. Once again, my responsibility to the people who elected me, not to you guys. And no disrespect, I appreciate we've had a great relationship, and 30 years ago it made absolute sense, it sounds like. But now things have changed, life has changed, the city's changed. So I just am very disturbed why people are on fire to vote this in 2 years in advance. It absolutely makes no sense. Absolutely makes no sense. Like Commissioner Sanford said, we have a new commissioners, we have a new mayor coming in the next year. Things can drastically change, and I don't feel it's prudent to vote for something well in advance. I just think it's very irresponsible, and I'm disappointed if this gets passed. Thank you. I will not be supporting it.
Commissioner Torres.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I sat through the, the property committee meeting, and, Commissioner Williams, I think, shares the same concern that I have, is just the length of the term. And I don't know, I'm trying to remember, Commissioner Williams, was there any discussion about potentially doing 5-year with renewal options on the back end on an annual basis that maybe afforded us some additional flexibility? So if, markets are changing, and I'm trying to remember what the discussion was, sorry.
Absolutely, Commissioner Williams.
I'm not sure if this on. But the request out of property committee was exactly to that. It was just philosophically, instead of these 10-year renewals, since, and this is what you guys stated in committee, was that your typical finance cycle was a 3-year or a 5-year finance loan. So with there de facto being 2 years left, if we offered a 5-year extension, that should suffice either one of those financing options that you pursue, and would give us another reevaluation point here 7 years from now. That was our request coming out of property. I think, and I'll hand it back in a second, but from what I heard in the explanation is that, and I will say, I don't know if your explanation was sufficient, just to explain it, but that he says that was not long enough. I'll hand it back over.
Yeah, thanks. So, and I think that kind of highlights the concern that I had, and I know we had a one-on-one conversation after the committee meeting. 2 years early with 5 years is probably where I was willing to go tonight. 8, I'm not willing to go. The fact that, your response was that the lenders are pushing back, quite honestly, that's really not our problem. That's a you issue to have to solve as a business owner and leader. I don't know if offering an amendment for 5 years would pass, but I'm going to offer an amendment to reduce it to 5 years, the length of the term.
I have a proper motion to do a second amendment that would limit the term to 5 years. That motion made by Commissioner Torres and seconded by Commissioner Richards. Any questions or comments on the new amendment?
So was that not a 5-year before?
It's already been incorporated in the resolution. This is a new amendment to the resolution that's previously been amended.
Right.
So it would be until 2032.
So it's not a 5-year amendment, it's a 3-year amendment. Because there's 2 years remaining.
Then you need to clarify if that's what he's
That's
asking.
what I'm
Are you
asking.
saying 5 years until 2032, or are you saying 7 years, the 2 existing plus 5 years on top of it?
No, so
the current agreement,
the current agreement would end in 2 years, correct?
Correct.
I think what Commissioner Williams and the property committee talked about at length was 5 years on top of the.
To be
current
2032.
expiration, so 2032, so that would give them a 7-year total agreement.
Your amendment is to do the total of 7 or a total of 5?
5 additional years.
5 on top of the 2.
It would change the language to 2032.
Right. Changing the language to 2032. All right. I did see a question or comment on the board. I'll ask again. So this is a new amendment to the resolution previously 92537, now 1025-1. Any questions or comments on the new amendment that would reduce the term to 2032? Commissioner Williams.
I think this would be an appropriate time to maybe expound upon the conversations you had with your financing agent. What is the reasoning as to?
We're in negotiation right now with a 5-year loan. The lender has a concern that at the maturity of that 5-year loan, there's only 2 years left. So therefore,
Please speak in the mic if you could.
There's risk to us getting out of that loan. We're in the same spot we are now in 5 years. That's the concern. Because they're going to be, how do you get out because you only have 2 years left? So we're in the exact same spot we're in right now.
Okay, and look,
Does that make sense?
I'm not a financial genius, right? But the current loan that you're seeking comes with a 5-year term.
Yes.
That will expire 2 years prior to our agreement expiring.
Exactly, which is essentially the same spot that we're in right now.
Exactly. So there's an assumption then that you'll probably be pursuing another round of a loan around that time.
Exactly.
And that's what you're talking about, is that then we're going to have 2 years left.
And that's what that lender is echoing to me, is that you're going to have risk taking them out at the end of their 5-year term.
Okay, but what we're trying to help you solve right now is the immediate 5-year term that you're needing to suffice. Does that 5-year loan that you're pursuing come with some contingencies of beyond the 5 years?
No.
So the current loan that you're seeking
Is a 5-year term.
is fully sufficed at 5 years from now?
Yes.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments on the amendment, the new amendment? Commissioner Sanford.
I'm baffled once again. You're seeking a 5-year term,
Correct.
and we're thinking about giving you a 7-year term, but that's not good enough. My math's not mathing, I guess. Right?
Well, their concern is at the end of the maturity of this 5-year loan, there's only 2 years remaining, so there'll be a risk with regard to us refinancing the hotel at the end of the 5-year term that we're
Right, so
looking to go
would you
into.
rather get some financing today or risk not getting any financing at all? It doesn't make any sense to me. It's like you want your cake and eat it too. I'm totally confused.
Commissioner Petty.
I'm new to this, but you run the program. We're silent partners, right? We don't do anything except collect a check or lose money every month, right?
That's correct.
Okay, so this is your show, you're running it, and all you need from us is say, okay, we're gonna have a contract. But if we don't give you a contract, what's gonna happen?
We can't, if we don't
Okay,
have, if we
okay,
don't have a management agreement, we don't.
we've been doing it for 30 years,
No,
right?
understood.
So, I mean, all of a sudden, okay, we're not gonna give you a contract anymore? I mean, all we're saying is, we wanna prepare for the next 2 years, for the next mayor and the next commissioners, and we don't feel it's right for us to make that decision. I think that's the point that I think we're making, and you do have a lot of resources, you've got a 30-year track record, so I'm having a hard time understanding this one.
No, we've only owned the hotel since 2018. We didn't build it and haven't owned it for 30 years.
Yeah, but the process has been going on that long.
Correct, yes.
Okay.
Any additional questions or comments on the new amendment? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote on the new amendment reducing the term to 2032, again, this being Resolution 1025-1, if you're in favor of that amendment, signify by pressing, is it loaded or is this, or do we need to do a voice vote?
I don't think that's correct.
Question, just to make sure that we're correct as far as this goes. Because to me, what it looks like we're voting on is the amended resolution. So I want to make sure that we're voting on amending it to show the year is 2032. I just didn't want this vote to take place up here and it be wrong. I have a roll call again if we need to. I'm just not sure. I didn't want them voting, because the way I look at it, it's like we're voting on the
Let's
resolution.
get an explanation from council.
After it was amended.
Right now, as amended, 1025-1 is until 2035.
Yes, sir, correct. And I just wanted,
This vote would change that to 2032. It's a separate amendment.
yes, sir. I understand. It's just what the board shows looks like that we're voting on that 8-year extension that Commissioner
Correct.
Williams had approved. I just didn't want us to vote that and try to record it. I have roll call if we need to.
Let's do roll call then, Mr.
Okay.
Whitby. Go ahead
Sorry
and
for the
proceed,
confusion.
please.
Just want to make sure we're doing right. Commissioner Aiello.
Yes.
Okay. Commissioner Bethard.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Commissioner Carden. Commissioner Guffey.
Yes.
Commissioner Hayes. Commissioner Herbert.
This is to make it to 2032.
Yes, ma'am, to amend it to 5 years.
No.
Commissioner Hester.
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Commissioner Lawrence.
Yes.
Commissioner Morton.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Neill.
Yes.
Commissioner Petty.
No.
Commissioner Richards.
Yes.
Commissioner Sanford.
No.
Commissioner Mary Smith.
Yes.
Commissioner Steve Smith. Commissioner Stresser.
Yes.
Commissioner Sturgeon. Commissioner Torres.
Yes.
Commissioner Tunnicliffe.
No.
Commissioner Webb.
No.
Commissioner Williams.
Yes.
I have 14 yes, 8 no.
The amendment passes. We're back to the resolution now as amended for the second time. Again, that taking the term to 2032. Any questions or comments on the resolution as amended? Commissioner Mary Smith.
Yeah, I just still want to state, though, that I still think that this is something that a local government probably needs to rethink as far as being in the conference center business. So while I do appreciate the shorter term, I still can't support this in full. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor of Resolution 1025-1 as amended, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
14 yes, 8 no.
Resolution passes. as amended. Moving on to new business and appropriations. If I can find my resolutions here.
Number 2.
Resolution 1025-2. Resolution appropriating and amending the 25-26 Public Transportation Capital Projects budget by $100,000, revenues to come from reserve account and county general fund balance. Proper motion made by Commissioner Drew Torres, seconded by Commissioner Steve Smith. The Budget Committee was 4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
Yes, this is just moving from reserve accounts so that we can purchase new vans for the TMA.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
22 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 1025-3, resolution appropriating and amending the 25-26 Health Department budget by $85,072.39 for salary costs not covered in local health services contract. Revenues to come from unappropriated county general fund balance. Proper motion made by Commissioner Drew Torres and seconded by Commissioner Steve Smith. The Human Resources Committee was 4-4, 1 against. Public Health Committee was 3-4-0 against. Budget Committee was 4-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
The Health Department received a significant amount of its funds from the state back in June when we raised our county employees to the 75th percentile level. That qualified some of our Health Department employees under that. The state funds have not caught up to that, so we have to make
Williams instead of Chance.
Well, he's on.
Any questions or comments? Looks like I may have one from Commissioner Hayes.
I have a question for Kathy.
Question for Kathy, okay.
It's under Kathy's purview.
Yeah.
Hi there.
Hello.
Just want to understand, I read in here that says that the state calculates the health department salaries on a 7.5-hour workday. Is that assuming an 8-hour workday with a 30-minute unpaid break? Is that how that works out to 7.5?
Correct.
Okay. So is that something we would correct in the future with them? Because I think we give an hour. Do we give them an hour long or a 30-minute unpaid?
State employees actually get an hour for lunch. County employees get 30 minutes. I can tell you that we've had contracts in place, this cost reimbursement contract, for about 40 years.
Yeah.
They've always calculated it on the 1,950 hours.
Oh, okay.
But this is actually the first year, based on the salary increases and so forth, that we might run a little bit short.
Okay. And so just some making the point, not for you, Kathy, but for our voters, that the pay increase that we all voted in, this is one of the repercussions of that additional monies are taken out of our taxpayers' hands. So just want to make that point. Thank you. Thank you for the explanation. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? I see none. If you're ready to vote, if you're in favor of the resolution, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
22 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 1025-4, resolution appropriating and amending the 25-26 Williamson County DUI Recovery Court by $95,941.36 for the Tennessee Opioid Abatement Council funds, revenues to come from rollover federal grant funds. Proper motion made by Commissioner Steve Smith, seconded by Commissioner Tom Tunnicliffe. The Law Enforcement Committee was 3-4-0 against. Budget Committee was 4-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Tunnicliffe.
Yeah, these are grant funds that have no match required.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Commissioner Sanford? Oh, he stepped out. Mark, Commissioner Sanford is absent momentarily. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
I have 21 yes, 0 no.
He's not abstaining, he's absent.
Yeah, he's not abstaining, but I don't guess it matters. Right. How would that need to be modified to absent?
They're fixing it, yes.
Okay.
The record would be 21 yes, 3 absent.
No. Are y'all able to change the record? There we go. Or no, you changed it to yes then. It should.
I can't turn your mic on.
I have it recorded as even being absent. 21 yes, 0 no, and 1 absent.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Whitby. Resolution 10255, resolution authorizing a grant contract between Williamson County, Tennessee and the Tennessee Department of Health and Human Services on behalf of the Williamson County General Sessions DUI Court and amending the 25-26 DUI Court budget by $363,876. Revenues to come from grant funds. Proper motion made by Commissioner Tunnicliffe, seconded by Commissioner Drew Torres. Any question, or sorry, explanation? I'm way ahead of myself. Law Enforcement, 3 in favor, 0 against. Budget Committee, 4 in favor, 0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Tunnicliffe.
Once again, these are grant funds with no match required.
Yeah. And I may have a question or comment from Commissioner Petty.
Just a real quick question here. This is government. This money comes from this federal government initially, and since we're in a standoff here and the government is shut down, have we already received this money, or is this going to be delayed?
This is rollover.
Ms. Riley?
We have yet to receive any funds. This is actually a reimbursable grant, so we have to spend the money first, and then we file for reimbursement. So at this time, we will just kind of also be in a standing point until we're ready to be able to do that reimbursement. So at this time, we've received no money.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
22 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 10256, resolution authorizing a grant contract between Williamson County, Tennessee and the Department of Health and Human Services on behalf of the Williamson County General Session Veterans Treatment Court and amending the 25-26 Veterans Treatment Court budget by $383,642. Revenues to come from grant funds. Proper motion made by Commissioner Steve Smith and seconded by Commissioner Judy Herbert. Law Enforcement was 3-4, 0 against. Budget Committee was 4-4, 0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Tunnicliffe.
And again, these are grant funds that require no county match.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
22 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 10259, resolution accepting a donation from Friends of Williamson County Animal Center and appropriating and amending the 25-26 Animal Center budget by $95,000. Revenues to come from donations. Proper motion made by Commissioner Greg Sanford and seconded by Commissioner Judy Herbert. The Public Health Committee was 3-4, 0 against. Budget Committee was 4-4, 0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
This is a generous donation from the Friends of the Williamson County Animal Center. It's used to pay for the position for our Plausibilities program.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
22 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 1025510, resolution authorizing the Williamson County Mayor to execute a grant contract with the State of Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security and appropriating and amending the Office of Public Safety's 25-26 budget by $30,065. Revenues to come from grant funds. Proper motion made by Commissioner Sanford, seconded by Commissioner Mary Smith. Law Enforcement was 3-4, 0 against. Budget Committee was 4-4, 0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Tunnicliffe.
These are grant funds requiring no county match.
And Commissioner Hayes.
Quick question. Commissioner Tunnicliffe, do you know who was able to obtain this for us? Commissioner?
Do not.
Is this another one that came from Beth
This come from
Walters?
Connor? I was going to give Connor.
Connor.
Oh, there's Connor. I just want to say thank you. I think this is fantastic. I don't know how they do it, but I think this will save this makes it much more safe if somebody's navigation says, hey, pull over, here comes an emergency vehicle. So thank you. I just want to say thank you.
Absolutely, and I have to say thank you to Jay Bonson, Fire Coordinator, who's here, also Beth Lothers and Andrea Hastings in the Mayor's office who helped with this grant project. It was definitely a team effort.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
While you're up there, could you tell us a little bit how it works?
Sure. So this is technology that will go in our fire apparatus for the county volunteer departments, and it uses cell phone signals to communicate with GPS units on vehicles that are on the road. And so when lights and sirens are activated in emergency vehicles, it will notify drivers who are using their GPS, which a lot of people do. A little pop-up will come on their screen that says an emergency vehicle is operating in your area, and just give an extra warning on top of lights and sirens that they should be on the lookout for a vehicle and pull over safely to the side of the road.
They need to be using like Google Maps, Waze, something like that, or
It interfaces with the with Google Maps, Waze, sort of the popular mapping interfaces that most people use.
Very
Yes,
cool.
sir.
Absolutely. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
22 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. That was number 10, right? So we're now on. Resolution now is 102511. Resolution authorizing the Williamson County Mayor to enter into a lease agreement with Brightstone, Inc., and amending the 25-26 Sheriff's Office budget by $25,600. Revenues to come from County General Fund balance. Proper motion made by Commissioner Greg Sanford and seconded by Commissioner Barb Sturgeon. Property Committee was 5-4-0 against. Budget Committee was 4-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
With construction of the jail, the K-9 unit has been displaced. This gives our dogs a home.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
22 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 102512, resolution authorizing the Williamson County Mayor to enter into a letter of agreement with the State of Tennessee Department of Finance and Administration and appropriating and amending the 25-26 Sheriff's Office budget by $245,224.22. Revenues to come from grant funds and unappropriated county general fund balance. Proper motion made by Commissioner Greg Sanford and seconded by Commissioner Drew Torres. Law enforcement was 3 in favor, 0 against. Budget Committee was 4 in favor, 0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Tunnicliffe.
Yeah, these funds are a rollover from last year and part of a match, and no matching funds required.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
22 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 102513, resolution appropriating and amending the 25-26 Sheriff's Department budget by $22,936.33. Revenues to come from rollover federal pass-through state grant funds. Proper motion made by Commissioner Greg Sanford, seconded by Commissioner David O'Neill. Budget Committee was 4-4-0 against. Law Enforcement was 3-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Tunnicliffe.
These are grant funds that were not used last year and are being rolled over.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
22 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 102514, resolution authorizing the issuance, sale, and payment of not to exceed $32,800,000 of county district school bonds of Williamson County, Tennessee, and providing for the levy of taxes for the payment of debt services on those bonds. Proper motion made by Commissioner Tom Tunnicliffe and seconded by Commissioner Steve Smith. Budget Committee was 4-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
This is the issuance of the bonds. Breakdown Phoebe gave us. I think everybody has those of the school projects that we'd approved previously and other upgrades.
Any questions or comments? Commissioner Mary Smith.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. So Phoebe, I know that I reached out to you, and I know that there's been some savings that we have realized that I believe the Purchasing and Insurance Committee have voted on. And I think the email you sent me, which I really appreciated, I think it was about 8 million, but you had said that because we wouldn't actually be able to realize any of those savings until January, which is I think when the contract starts for those savings. So I know we may not see the full 8 million this year, but there is the potential to see at least the half of that, the 4 million. So I was wondering if it'd be feasible to maybe amend this one just by that $4 million and maybe pay out of fund balance 2 of those projects, the maintenance on the schools and then the fire engine, for this year, if that would be plausible, if I could suggest an amendment for this particular bond.
Commissioner, you can always request an amendment.
Okay.
So I would, again, my statement was, we have yet to receive those savings. They are projected, so I cannot guarantee that we are going to hit 4 million or 8 million. Again, those savings will not take place until January 1, when the contract goes into place. A lot of times we don't see those savings for at least 6 to 8 months out before we even start seeing those, because of the timing of those claims being paid. So at this time, my recommendation is to not count on those, as we have yet to realize them physically in our coffers.
Okay. Think about that one. Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Sanford.
We got a question for Connor Scott real quick.
Yes, sir.
Director, one of these things on here is fire truck for Triune, obviously in my district. When can we expect to see that fire engine?
So we're probably about 3-4 years out at this point, Jay, for the engine for Triune. So if we order in the fall, yeah, 3 to 4 years out if we order in the fall, sir.
Lord help us all. Thank you.
Sir.
Any other questions or comments? Commissioner Bill Petty.
Apparently, we have saved quite a bit of money on our the GP1 costs for weight loss in the last meeting of the insurance committee. And it's like $6.9 million we're not going to have to spend. Can we use any of that money for capital expenses? Is that possible? I mean, we're going to have some extra money from that, I'm sure, or unless I'm wrong.
So again, we have yet to realize those. They do not go into effect till January. If you wish to postpone one of our capital projects that we have for funding to see how that pans out, but at this time, I don't have that money that I can give you a final number of how much exactly savings are. We have not incurred those yet.
Okay, but it's going to be relatively substantial. It would be in the millions, right?
The projected is,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, I just want to check.
Sure.
All right, thank you.
Commissioner Lawrence.
Just stay up for a moment. Thank you. So the resolution says up to 32 million, and both of these, it doesn't require us to borrow that much. So let's take the fire engine, for example. So I'm assuming we're not going to have to pay the full amount up front for that, since it's not going to be delivered for 3 years. Would that be correct?
So normally on those large, and Connor can help me with this one, but usually on those large, because it is a specialized vehicle, we do have to pay. We have a contract that we enter, that we pay a portion, but we do not fully pay for it, correct?
Okay.
There are also typically discounts if you prepay ahead of time. You can get a lower overall cost if you prepay.
So would our expectation to be to pay in full? Or is that what you would prefer? Or because there's borrowing costs for 3 years, we're going to have to pay interest on that. So I mean, that you'd have to factor that in. So okay, so I guess my point is, this is up to, and it doesn't necessarily mean if the savings that we're projecting to generate from some of the changes that we're going to make do materialize, then it's possible we don't need to borrow that much, correct?
That is correct. We are looking at going to market at the end of this month, 1st of November. So just keep that in mind as well.
Okay, so would you be going for the full amount then?
We would go toward with the not to exceed. Obviously, That depends on rates we get, how the bids come in. A lot of times we are able to lower that amount. This is just the max that we're looking at.
Yeah, so we don't borrow money to buy a fire truck that's not going to be delivered for 3 years and then pay for it. We don't sit on that money for 3 years, correct? If we're buying money?
We invest that money if it
We
is
do.
not spent. Yes, I invest that money, and so we will actually be earning interest on whatever is held as well.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? I see none. If you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Commissioner Hayes, record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
21 yes, 1 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 102515, resolution authorizing the issuance, sale, and payment of not to exceed $33,500,000 of general obligation public improvement and school bonds of Williamson County, Tennessee, and providing for the levy of taxes for the payment of debt services on those bonds. Proper motion made by Commissioner Tom Tunnicliffe, seconded by Commissioner Steve Smith. Budget Committee was 4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
Again, this is for the issuance of the bonds, and I think a lot of the discussion we just had actually applied to this bond rather than the one we just voted on. But these are the bonds for the things that we have previously approved.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Commissioner, record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
19 yes, 3 no.
Resolution passes. Late filed resolution 102525, resolution accepting a donation from the estate of Cheryl A. Hall and appropriating and amending the 25-26 Animal Center budget by $25,000. Revenues to come from donations. Proper motion made by Commissioner Tom Tunnicliffe and seconded by Commissioner Steve Smith. Public Health Committee was 3-4-0 against. Budget Committee was 4-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Sturgeon.
Oh, I'm sorry. We received a generous donation from Cheryl Hall from her estate, and it's going to go towards supplies and materials at the Animal Control Center.
Any questions or comments? Commissioner Bill Petty.
I just want to make a quick comment. I had the opportunity to go out to the Animal Control Center on Friday, had a great meeting with Andrea. What a facility. It's amazing. It is the state of the art. If you haven't been out there, you need to go out there. What they're doing with the animals and how they operate. I don't think most of us appreciate what they do and the job that they perform. Just to give you one example, if somebody gets stopped for a DUI in a county and they have their dog in their car, and I guess this happens quite often, that person can't be taken to jail until that dog or cat is taken to our animal control center and protected. So, I mean, they do a great service, and they have a great organization, and they have a great leader, and it was just a real pleasure to get out there and see it. I recommend anybody out to go out there and just check it out. It's a wonderful facility.
Any other questions or comments? And we also want to thank Ms. Hall for this very nice donation. The estate of Mrs. Hall. No questions or comments. If you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
22 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 1025-7, resolution appropriating and authorizing the county mayor to execute a contract for the administration of a retiree Medicare supplement and prescription drug plan with United Healthcare. Proper motion made by Commissioner Tom Tunnicliffe and seconded by Commissioner Lisa Hayes. The Purchasing and Insurance Committee was 4-4-0 against. Budget Committee was 4-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
Yes, Purchasing Insurance sought and reviewed bids and unanimously approved the savings here. Looks like the payees are going to save about 33%, and the county will save $1.3 million. So thank you all for bidding that one out.
Commissioner Hayes.
Yeah, I would just like a little explanation as to how we got to where we are with this plan. I know I I missed the last meeting, so I made the one before. I know there was conversations about Ozempic, there was conversations about changing the plan. I just think for posterity's sake, we need to all understand what changes occurred, and so we can truly appreciate the 3.5 million in savings.
Good evening. So the benefits department, along with our benefit consultant, the jury group, did an RFP, and this resolution is for the post-retiree coverage. And the results of the RFP was awarded to United Healthcare. So this only affects the retirees that have continued after leaving. And this outlines the savings of that RFP, which will be effective January 1st.
And my understanding was that Cigna bought the previous company and then they were selling it back to that company, which was not going to necessarily be beneficial.
Yeah,
That's what I remember from
originally
2 meetings ago.
Cigna, it was a Cigna name on the retiree plan, and then
Right.
it sold to HealthSpring.
Right.
And then we took it to RFP since Cigna no longer had that.
Right, and I'm glad to see that we had a little critical thinking, because my understanding was HealthSpring was not well thought of prior to Cigna buying them. So I appreciate that there was effort made to truly do an RFP and look at what was best for our retirees, so I thank you for that. And I'm very happy to hear that we had a savings on that. And then I guess, I think that's all. And then the Ozempic savings, I think, my understanding is that you guys looked critically at that, at how many employees and.
Yes, and that's separate from this resolution. It's actually a plan change. So January 1st, P&I voted to eliminate weight loss coverage under the medical plan. So it's just not the GLP-1s, but it's any weight loss medication will not be covered. Now, it will be covered if there is a medical need, medical necessity. It might be diabetes or heart condition. The provider would do a medical necessity letter through Cigna for it to be covered, but it will not be covered just for a weight loss diagnosis.
Thank you for the update, I appreciate it.
Any other questions or comments? I see none. So if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Commissioner Williams, Commissioner Lawrence. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
22 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 1025-8, resolution approving and authorizing the county mayor to execute a dental insurance contract with Cigna Health and Life Insurance Company. Proper motion made by Commissioner Steve Smith, seconded by Commissioner Mary Smith. Purchasing was 3-4, 1 against. Budget was 4-4, 0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
Similar story here. Gina and her department bid out, and we have, they are proposing a new dental contract for county employees.
Commissioner Hayes.
Also, just want to verify, I know during the committee meeting I attended, there was discussion about increasing the cost share, and it looks like it stayed where it was. Can you confirm that?
So, I think what you're referring to doesn't have to do with this resolution, but the P&I committee voted to, on the medical plan, currently, once you meet your deductible, then your out-of-pocket is currently at 10%. You pay 10%, the county picks up 90% of the cost. Effective January, that will be an 80-20 split. So the employee will pick up 20% until their out-of-pocket's met, and the county will pick up the 80%.
And what was the reasoning behind increasing the cost share to employees?
Just cost savings up front to the county and the plan.
Okay, it just seems like a little slap, like here's your raise, but here's your increase in coverage, so. But thank you for the update, I appreciate it.
Any other questions or comments? I see none. If you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
22 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 102516, resolution of the governing body of Williamson County, Tennessee, supporting an application to participate in the Transportation Planning Grant Program for the development of long-range transportation planning activities. Proper motion made by Commissioner Tom Tunnicliffe, seconded by Commissioner Steve Smith. Budget Committee was 4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
Yes, this is showing our commitment to put in 10% towards an application. So this is application only for regional help on transportation issues.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
22 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 102517, resolution authorizing the Williamson County Mayor to enter into a memorandum of understanding with the City of Fairview for the participation of eligible individuals in Williamson County's DUI Recovery Court. Proper motion made by Commissioner Mary Smith, seconded by Commissioner Ricky Jones. Budget Committee was 4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
Yeah, this will allow eligible probationers who are convicted in the Fairview City Court to be able to participate in the county's DUI court.
Any questions or comments? Commissioner Hayes.
Is there any cost share that Fairview will share in this, or is, just curious? I tried to do some research and I just couldn't dig it up. I mean, I'm happy they're doing that, don't get me wrong.
Hi, Commissioner.
Hi.
So each entity will cover their own cost, and the way that the court works, it'll be similar with how the Williamson County probationers pay for their fees. The probationers will plead into the court, and a condition of that plea is to pay their fees or to pay them on a schedule. But yes, the county will not incur more costs.
Awesome. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Commissioner Guffey. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
22 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 102518, resolution authorizing the Williamson County Mayor to execute a non-exclusive use agreement with Goodwill Industries of Middle Tennessee, Inc. to collect usable donated materials. Proper motion made by Commissioner Barb Sturgeon and seconded by Commissioner Greg Sanford. Municipal Solid Waste Board was 4-0 against. Property Committee was 5-0 against. Budget Committee was 4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Morton.
This just allows Goodwill to collect usable donated items at our convenience centers.
Commissioner Hayes.
Can anybody speak to this, like, as to, it says here, Goodwill as the best responsive proposal. Did we have other people request to be part of that, give a proposal, or is Goodwill the only one that responded? I'm kind of curious.
For years, Goodwill has never had any competition. They now have competition. So I reached out to their competition. I sent out RFPs to both companies, and it's always board looked at them. And Goodwill had a real similar proposal to America Thrift Stores.
Okay.
That's the competition. The reason Goodwill got it is two. One, they get donated items that are way more expensive than what would sell in the store. So they have an online store you can go for on those. The second one, if your parents pass away and you and your siblings don't want anything in the house, or even if you do want stuff in the house, you can call them. You can label which items your brother or your sister wants. They will package that, have it ready for their moving company to come pick up, and they will clean the rest of the house out and leave the floors swept and mopped.
Thank you for the explanation.
The reason they got it is that benefit to the citizens. It's not to us, but it's to the citizens.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
22 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Resolution 102519, a resolution to amend the rules, regulations, and procedures of the Williamson County Board of Commissioners concerning the attachment of contracts to resolutions. Proper motion made by Commissioner Mary Smith, seconded by Commissioner Greg Sanford. Rules Committee was 3-0 against. Commissioner Clifford is not here. Who would be able to speak to this? Commissioner Aiello, are you able to speak on this one?
Another member of the Rules Committee.
Who are the members of Rules? Who?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Commissioner Morton.
I had to think about it for a second. Some of the contract, this is the contracts, correct? Yes. Some of the contracts we have are pretty substantial. Jeff Whidbey was explaining to us the cost savings and not having to print and mail those out. They will be made available online for everyone, but it's strictly a cost savings and trying to save there.
Commissioner Hayes.
Yet again. My concern with this is I like to look at the contracts in print. I don't care if you double-side it. I don't care if I have to come pick them up. But I don't have a legal printer at home if I want to print it and really look closely at a contract. That is, again, as a commissioner, our responsibility to be critical before we just go, oh yeah, let's vote on that contract. We actually should read it and know what's in it. I think a lot of people don't do that. Not going to name names, don't need to really care. But I think that's accountability, and that not those who want to look at it online, great, good for you. I don't have time to do that because sometimes I'm going 20 miles an hour, 100 miles an hour. It's nice to have a printed copy. So I personally think that this is removing some transparency and ease of use. I mean, for somebody who makes $600 before taxes, I think a little bit of copying fee is not a big deal. I honestly don't. So I'm disappointed to see this, and I will vote no.
Commissioner Petty.
Yeah, the only question I have is, when I first started out here, I was getting a printed copy, and then I called Jeff and said, you know, this is 50 pounds of paper. I don't need all this. So I just get it electronic, and I'm perfectly happy with that. But I understand what she has to say, and I don't see why this is an issue. Most of us, or a lot of us, just get it electronically already. And if somebody wants to get it printed, they can just ask for it, and it's not that big a deal. So I don't even understand why we have this in the first place.
Commissioner Williams.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily against the concept of getting a summary. The only thing is, I don't know if the cover page on a contract suffices a summary. You know, typically when we have contracts, you're going to have a key terms page that has 15, 16 different contractual items listed out on it, so you can look at it at a glance. I would like to see that spelled out in this resolution to where it's not just the first page of the contract, but actually a contract summary page that addresses certain key terms that we identify probably through the rules that says, hey, with these key terms we want to see stated on a summary page. And I would vote in support of that, but I'm not exactly sure the right way of making that amendment to this, but I just want to pose that first.
Well, I'm seeing Mr. Whidbey's face, and it's making me think that might be more difficult than just sending you the entire contract if he has to parse out what he believes would be important to you and recreate the contract.
So then, can I make a recommendation then? Can we defer this to next month so that the Rules Committee could go back and flush that summary page out and what the key terms to be included in are?
Is that your motion?
That's my motion.
Second from Commissioner Sturgeon. So I have a proper motion and a second to defer this to next month. Is that correct, Commissioner Williams?
Correct.
I see a couple of questions and comments on the board. Question or comment on the amendment? Commissioner Sturgeon.
The amendment.
Okay, Commissioner Smith on the amendment. Ms. Mary Smith?
Yeah, I would just suggest too that if we're going to go back and relook at this, to possibly have an option for those commissioners that want the printed copy to just let Jeff know that, hey, I would prefer a printed copy because I get mine electronically. He was really gracious to accommodate those of us who want electronically, those of us who want paper. I think in this case, we could probably do the same thing. Just make it known what your preference is.
Okay, well, that was my comment.
Does that happen to already be the case, Mr. Whidbey? Or would that need to be?
It is the case as far as I have a list of commissioners that have it electronically. Actually, every commissioner gets it electronically because I just go ahead and do that, and then it's online. I do have commissioners that want to receive the packet on paper, which is fine. And it hasn't really been an issue until lately with all of the contracts. I think it was like July, I just took as an example. There were over 4,000 and something pages that I printed for for the contracts, where the majority of it wasn't anything. And I understand what you're saying, Commissioner, but it is an option. To answer the question, it is an option, and I would be happy to print them off for somebody that wanted them, but what the purpose when I asked about it was to cut down on the postage that it costs me to send it out, the copies that have to be made, and the paper that's done for something that is available online and is available sent to you electronically as well.
Would I be right to say this resolution, instead of you automatically being opted in to receive the contracts through the mail, you would have to call and opt in to receive them, but you could still receive them on an individual basis?
For the copies, for the contract, yes, sir. Because even, yes, sir, you're exactly right. Because even, my opinion is, even if we pass it where you only get the one page, if you say, hey, you know, shoot me an email or call me and say, I would like the whole contract, I will gladly put that in the packet.
With that explanation, is the motion to defer still one that you wish to make?
Yeah, correct. I think, like I said, I don't, you know, in hindsight, I don't know why we haven't been doing this in a while, but we really do need a contract summary sheet that, you know, term, probably dollar value of the contract, what the termination without cause, right? Just a summary of probably about 15 different key terms that you'd want to have at a glance. And that way, if we don't have the full contract in front of us, we at least have it at a glance so we can have a discussion on it.
You push your... No. Okay, Commissioner Sanford.
So just kind of confused when you made your comment. So we can opt in if we want to opt in and not, okay. So maybe to Commissioner Williams' point, maybe sponsor withdraw this all together and maybe the Rules Committee come up with their own? Because this just deals with the printed copy, right?
Yes, sir.
Do what?
Commissioner Clifford is absent.
So defer it and let the Rules Committee take it back.
Okay. Any other questions or comments on the amendment to defer? And it is on the board? Okay. Commissioner Tunnicliffe.
I'm sure Sheriff Hughes will love this. I know that in Brentwood, the police officers used to deliver this to the commissioners. I know your sheriffs, your deputies would love to do that for the commissioners to save money, wouldn't they?
They're driving by.
I think they're coming by your house anyway, right?
They do, regularly.
Any other questions or comments on the motion to defer?
I do have a question.
Commissioner Hayes.
Who's going to be the wonderful person who gets to summarize that? Mr. Commissioner Williams?
I think that's an excellent question, but that
Will it be legal or will it be Mr. Whidbey? Because I don't think Jeff is busy enough.
Commissioner Smith. Mary Smith.
IT department and see if there's an AI component that would summarize the contracts for you. I may or may not have to do that before.
Any other questions or comments on the motion to defer? Seeing none, I believe it's loaded, so if you are in favor of the motion to defer, press your yes button. If you're opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whidbey.
21 yes, 1 no.
Always one. Resolution passes. We're now, we don't have to, it's deferred, so we don't go on to that one. Commissioner Webb.
Usually defer it to a certain date.
We did next month. The Rules Committee will meet again to discuss it. Okay, now we're on to Resolution 102520, resolution amending the rules, regulations, and procedures of the Williamson County Board of Commissioners concerning the consent agenda found under Rule Number 3. Proper motion made by Commissioner David O'Neill, seconded by Commissioner Barb Sturgeon. Rules Committee was 3-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Aiello. Or, I'm sorry, Commissioner Torres.
Sorry. I think this is I just want to make sure, this is the one that I'm going to withdraw. Is that okay?
I think that's what you discussed earlier.
Okay, yeah. So the intent behind it and the reason for the withdrawal is the Rules Committee, when they talked through it, it was going to actually create more work for the chair, and the intent of trying to save time was going to be undone by the extra work that the chair was going to have to do. So that's why I'm withdrawing it.
Well, he's not the sponsor. Morton has to withdraw.
I'm being told that because Morton signed it, Morton would have to be the one to withdraw. Do you concur, Mr. Morton?
I would also like to withdraw.
Okay. All right, so Resolution 102520 has been withdrawn. Resolution 102521, a resolution to amend the rules, regulations, and procedures of the Williamson County Board of Commissioners concerning the recording and archiving of all Williamson County committee meetings and to provide for public access to such recordings. Proper motion was on my screen, but I lost it. Commissioner Greg Sanford made the motion, seconded by Commissioner Sean Aiello. The Rules Committee was 3-4-0 against. Before we go to questions and comments, I think the mayor did want to speak to this one to give us some information that might help us make our vote.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As many of you know, this meeting room is also being used by the city of Franklin for the next about 2 years until they get their new city hall finished and built. So in the event that you vote in the affirmative of having these meetings, or committee meetings, taped and recorded, there will be some cost. We have not dug into those to, I think Creed, who does Channel 3, mailed out some information to you, but he did not include what it would cost for us to do the executive, the big room, for us to do what is being asked. Not a bad thing to do, but we can't use this meeting because we're committed to Franklin for them to use it. So I would ask if I don't know who made the motion, who did the resolution.
It's Commissioner Petty and Commissioner Aiello.
If they would at least send it back and let us put some cost on it for the other room, if you decide to do that, and look at that, because we'll have to order equipment, mics and things like that, for that full room in there.
Can the chair make a motion? All right, any questions or comments, or anybody that wants to make a motion to possibly defer until we can get some more information on the cost of this particular resolution? I have a question or comment from Commissioner Sturgeon.
Yeah, I just want to make a comment that right now, a lot of the committee meetings are being recorded already by individual commissioners on their phones. And then AI is being used to turn it into words, printed words. And there has been some meetings in the past where different people remembered them differently. And I was very grateful that somebody had actually recorded the meeting because it clarified what had actually happened. So I'm kind of anxious to get this done. And can we continue doing that? And I don't think there's any cost to that at all. A phone and AI seems to be the cheapest route. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not a high enough quality. I don't know.
To answer your question, absolutely we can do that, but the resolution was a little bit different than what you're asking for. I think the reason the resolution was presented to this body was some of the sounds weren't as clear as they needed to be, the transmissions, talking, moving people around. If all of you have been in there, we have to go to the podium rather than you can sit at your seat and talk. Mm-hmm. But absolutely, the way we're doing it, Creed can continue on with that as we investigate this, if you want to take this down the pike. But it'll take us some time to order equipment. This is not off the shelf. And we'll have to order it, put it in.
How long do you think that would take?
Commissioner, I don't know. We struggled here with these for well over a year, just trying to get them tuned up and get them right. And we still have issues here. So that's not to say what we're doing, we're stopping. We're just saying we can't do it in here. And I hate to spend, do you remember what the equipment, do you remember what this equipment costs? Well over $100,000.
What about the executive components?
I mean, couple of years, Franklin's gonna be gone, we'll be back in here. So you have to think
So
about
you're
it.
saying we should hold our subcommittee meetings in here?
We can't hold them in here.
Right, but you're saying once Franklin's out.
Yeah, once Franklin's out, if you wanna have them in here, you certainly can.
It's too long.
But in the meantime, for the next couple of years, the only thing I've got to offer is down the hall.
Okay, thanks.
We'll go next. Commissioner Richards.
Yeah, I just wanted, he's back in that little mysterious room back there, Creed Henderson. I just wanted to say thank you to him for his very enthusiastic and helpful attitude about this. It's refreshing, and I, for one, if we can find a way to get him and his team a bonus, I would like to do that. I would also like to thank Commissioner Petty and Commissioner Aiello. I think this is a great idea, and we can see that there's a lot of citizens that are, I think it was shared with us by Ms. Giddens, the YouTube hit numbers over the period of time that we've been recording the budget meeting. There's been 20, if I read that correctly, 2,500 people who've viewed the streams of different budget meetings. So clearly there's people watching this stuff. Sometimes I wonder why, but thank you.
Commissioner Aiello.
So I think we skipped the explanation of this resolution.
Oh. Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. You were trying to give me the other ones, but I'll take this one now.
Yeah. Explanation, please, Commissioner Aiello.
So, this resolution is really to serve a twofold purpose. One, it's to provide public access and recording and transparency on committee meetings. But the other is also to provide that same access to commissioners who might not be able to attend committee meetings that have extensive explanations on things like the insurance that we had questions about tonight. So for those commissioners that are concerned about perhaps the length of meetings, a lot of questions that are also asked in committee meetings, and commissioners of inquiring minds might find their answers there prior to speaking here. And those discussions would then be in public because they would be recorded in part of the record that's maintained by the county. So this is the first that I've heard about the increased cost for this. We had a pretty good discussion in the committee meeting for rules about this. I would simply state that this resolution provides for a intent to have these things be recorded and would make the rule effective not immediately, but January 1, 2026. I anticipate that if there is a funding mechanism that needs to accomplish this, a subsequent resolution could be submitted either in budget or other property committee that would effectuate this intent. And I think we'd have time to do that prior to the January 1st meeting. So I would suggest if the commission has an appetite for these kinds of recordings and these kinds of things moving forward, vote for it today on that, and then have a resolution be brought forth regarding budgeting for what needs might be anticipated to accomplish this. So I'd suggest take a stair-step approach.
The resolution for appropriating money for that would have to be done in November, as you don't have a December meeting if you were going to meet the January 1 effective date.
That's correct. And I think this is one of those things that really shouldn't come as a surprise. Commissioners have been talking about this off and on for a couple of years now. I know the public wants it, commissioners want it. It might take a little bit of hustle to get us there in January, but I think now's the time.
Commissioner Hayes.
In full support of this, I think we need to do whatever we have to be transparent to our taxpayers, and I'm asked about this often. So they love the fact that budget meetings are recorded. They feel like they're part of the process. So I think this is a great step forward. Thank you guys for bringing this resolution forward.
Commissioner Mary Smith.
Yeah, I was just curious, was there a cost to getting the executive conference room set up so we could actually start recording the budget committee meetings? Because I guess I assumed with this one, we'd use the same mechanism, the same equipment to do any other of the committees. So I guess I'm a little bit confused as to why there's additional cost unless we're trying to outfit like another room. But I would fully support doing the full recording because I do think the AI, while it's been helpful, it's not always been accurate, and a lot of times there's context missing. So I would be in full support of doing this, but I was just curious as to why the additional cost.
I believe this one spells out that the current method of recording the budget committee is not adequate, and that this would, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, put microphones at each chair. that right or wrong?
That's incorrect. Sure.
I'll go now to Commissioner Petty.
Thank you. I talked to Creed about this, and we discussed it, and he has not been completely happy with the recording that goes on in the Budget Committee, because we do need extra microphones in there to make that work. But it's adequate, and we talked about that. I use it every week, or every time there's a Budget Committee meeting, and I use an AI program that pulls off, and it gives us pretty accurate summary of what went on. Creed and I talked about that. As far as using this room is concerned, Franklin only uses it on Tuesdays and Thursdays. They never use it on a Monday. They don't, and they seldom use it on a Thursday, but they use it normally. Their BOMA meeting they're on Tuesdays. So there's no conflict there. If we have two places where we can do meetings, and we get a reliable recording from it. We are getting a reliable recording in the budget meeting. It could be better, and Creed and I talked about that. Eventually, as we go along, it would be nice to make it better. But it's adequate now. It works. And this room here works just fine. So we could have two committee meetings on a Monday night, let's say, for example, where we could use the executive conference room and we could use the auditorium at the same time. So Creed has been very, very gracious, and he said, the guys that work for me, they do football games, they do interviews, their schedule is all over the place. He said, we can reschedule these people, it's not a problem. So my thought is, okay, to get back to Barb Sturgeon's point, when we have a recording, we know what's been said, and people can go back and review it if they want to. And as Sean pointed out, there are people that can't make it to a meeting, and it would be nice to see what was said, how it was said, who said it, that sort of thing. And I think that's important. And then we have a record. We have a permanent record, and we can go back later, maybe in a year or two or 6 months or whatever it is, say, yeah, well, this is what somebody said. So I think that right now I don't see any additional costs. I do see additional costs down the road that we can put in at some point, but as it is now, it would work.
And I'm reminded that this room is also used for planning commission meetings and school board meetings and other items, so it wouldn't always be.
Exactly, but typically, if I looked at the calendar, if you look at the calendar, there's not a lot of conflict.
Commissioner Aiello.
Just to answer the chair's question about whether this prescribed a specific method, or there was a comment about whether budget recording was inadequate, this resolution does not address that. It simply requires the recording and hosting and transmission of it. The mechanisms for doing that is either left to staff, or if there's a funding mechanism that needs to have for different recording mechanisms, that would be a separate resolution.
Okay. Good point. Any other questions or comments concerning this resolution? Commissioner Lawrence.
Yeah, I guess my question will be to the mayor. So you're saying that it might take a while to get a number on this, to get the adequate equipment?
I think getting the number is not a problem.
Okay.
I think getting the equipment in 60 days, as Commissioner has said, by January 1st, I'm not going to say it's impossible, but I doubt they have the kind of equipment. If you want to if you want to put the equipment in the room where we're having the committee meetings.
Okay. But so what we have now is adequate, but we can get better, and maybe we'll have it in January, but it might take a little bit longer than that. So I guess that's what I hear the mayor say.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Commissioner Herbert, Commissioner Tunnicliffe, are they? No. No deferral. Nobody made a motion to defer. Commissioner Herbert. No, it's dead. You want a voice vote?
Yes.
Mr. Whitby, if you'll record
Yes, sir.
the vote.
She got it.
And
We have,
Commissioner Herbert is a voice yes.
all right. We have 20 yes, 1 no, 1 abstain.
Resolution passes. Resolution 102522, resolution to surplus and approve the conveyance of various law enforcement-related equipment to Hickman County, Tennessee, and authorizing the Williamson County Mayor to execute all documentation needed to complete the conveyance. Proper motion made by Commissioner Steve Smith, seconded by Commissioner Greg Sanford. Law enforcement was 3-4-0 against. Property committee was 5-4-0 against. Budget committee was 4-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Tunnicliffe.
Apologize, I'm not on that resolution. Give me 1 second.
It's the one helping
I got it
Hickman
right
County.
here. Got it right here. Yeah, this is equipment for Hickman County for the purpose in their community of helping them out.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Commissioner Tunnicliffe, is yours not working? Okay. And Commissioner Herbert for a voice vote? Herbert's a yes. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
22 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. And late filed resolution 102524, resolution accepting the donation of a Nevco LED. Did I skip one? Oh, I'm sorry. I was trying to move a little faster than I should. Resolution 102523, resolution accepting the generous donation of Motorola repeaters from Rutherford County on behalf of the Williamson County Office of Public Safety. Proper motion made by Commissioner Greg Sanford and seconded by Commissioner Guy Carden. The Property Committee was 5-4-0 against. Law Enforcement was 3-4-0 against. Budget Committee was 4-4-0 against. Explanation, please, Commissioner Tunnicliffe.
Yeah, these are repeaters that Public Safety has agreed to use for day-to-day operations.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Commissioner Herbert for a voice. Herbert's a yes. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
22 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. Late filed resolution 102524, resolution accepting the donation of a Nevco LED aquatic video time board to be installed at the indoor sports complex. Proper motion made by Commissioner Barb Sturgeon, seconded by Commissioner Greg Sanford. No committee was able to meet. Parks and Rec did not have a quorum. Explanation, please, Commissioner Paul Webb.
You can see through this resolution, the XL Aquatics has worked with Toyota of Cool Springs to have this indoor sports arena to have the LED aquatic video timer located in the indoor sports complex.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, if you're ready to vote, if you're in favor, signify by pressing your yes button. Any opposed, your no. Anyone wishing to change their vote, please do so at this time. Commissioner Hester, yours working? Well, no, Hester's not up. Okay, there we go.
Herbert's a yes.
Herbert's a yes. Record the vote, please, Mr. Whitby.
22 yes, 0 no.
Resolution passes. As always, we want to thank the sheriff's deputies for being here, as well as the sheriff and all department heads for staying with us so late. Are there any other items to come before this board? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. We are adjourned.